A short hike. The game quite literally speaks for itself. It's short and it's a hike. But that isn't what I wanted to talk about. What I wanted to focus on today is the music of the game, the interactions, the dialogue between the characters, and how it captures the essence and awkwardness of sadness, being indecisive, and growing up. How the music shapes this short yet beautiful game, and how it made me appreciate my life a little more. My name is TreyJohn6, and this is my video, A Short Hike, in appreciation of life. Where to begin? Well, let's explain the game. The game is about Claire, a young bird who traveled to this place called Hawk Peak Provincial Park. I think I'm saying that right. And driven by her mom, who tells her it'll be nice to get away from the city and finally take in some outdoors. Then the game begins. You meet your aunt, who is the park ranger. A few lines of dialogue later, and you're starting your short hike. The game is fairly packed with things to do, like multiple trading sequences or finding lost items. You collect golden feathers, which are needed to get to the peak. You get to the peak and then fly back down to your aunt, and the game ends. Simple, effective, fast, and enjoyable. But while the game does seem somewhat short, it's the lines of dialogue, the music, the aesthetic, the interactions between the characters that really made me appreciate this game more than a lot. The interaction Claire has with some of the animals on the island scream indecisive, and a little bit of sadness. She interacts like she doesn't have joy or she's losing it. Her short answers and her pauses in between her lines tell me that she's not motivated to be there. Like there's something on her mind and she won't let it go. One of the first characters you talk to asks if you're feeling lost and directionless. Claire answers this with an and maybe. And right there, the game decides to throw their first clue as there's something deeper bothering Claire. Around this time, the music starts. The track is named appropriately Beach Buns. It's a more joyful song that soothes the player initially. A lot of the interactions with the people down in the first area have Claire responding with hesitant and short answers, all while that joyful music plays in the background, almost reassuring you that everything is normal. But if you look in between the lines of dialogue, you can see that her answers are a lot of nah, yeah, and okay. As you progress further in the game and as you go higher, you reach the forest area. Then the music changes to a track called Somewhere in the Woods. As you're wandering here looking for things to do, it's less upbeat than the previous track, yet it also says that you're starting to enjoy being here. Like that mellow, weird tone that she had at first is kind of going away, but it's still there. The lines of dialogue start to increase, and Claire isn't responding with those same hesitant answers as she was before. It's a calm track, and it reminds me of the Hateno village music from the Breath of the Wild. Only slightly. For me, next was the snowy area. I skipped quite a bit of the game and glided and flew past a lot of the areas at first. But if you didn't go to the snow area, then you might have gone to the cemetery area first, or the Firewatch area, or done a couple more side quests. Regardless, passing to the snow area is required to finish the game, and this is where collecting those golden feathers is important. You need quite a few feathers to climb to the top and make difficult jumps. The cold freezes your feathers, and in order to replenish them, you need to stand in hot springs or near your fires. The track for this part is called Snow. Lots of snow. And it's titled correctly, as there is quite a bit of snow. This track for me made me realize this is near the end of the game. The unsettling music and faster pace along with the more difficult jumps gave it all away. This track captures the last steps and the final part of your journey, jumping past and gliding in the air while being way high up. For me, this is when Claire starts to make her ascent and quote-unquote grow up, taking on dangerous ledges and cliffs, all to make her way to the peak. The dialogue that you have here with the people, you're much more comfortable talking to them at this point in the game than previously shown. Claire sees an aurora. She takes a seat and enjoys the view, and after looking around, Claire gets a phone call. It's her mom. The music plays. The track is called Hello. And it was in these few moments of such simple dialogue and the music that made me appreciate this game fully. Take a look. Draft from the peak starts, and Claire's mom tells her to go and ride it. And as you do, the music track A Short Flight starts to play. And as she descends down from the peak back to the cottage, I noticed very quickly this track sounds similar to that of the track from the final song from Howl's Moving Castle, when Sophie and Howl finally fly off after everything is done. Promise of the World. That's the name of the last song in Howl's, and it signifies the ending of the story. The climax is over and everything is gonna be just okay. That worry and the awkwardness that was initially there for Claire is almost completely gone. You take the updraft and you fly back down. You get back to the cabin and talk to your Aunt May once, and finally the game ends and the credits roll, playing the final track in the entire game, called Nap Time. Once again, sounding very similar to that of the last song from Howl's, Promise of the World. And once again, reassuring that everything is going to be okay for Claire and her mom. And all that awkwardness, all that worry, and all that built up stress are down the drain. Claire's worries are gone, and the final scene in the game plays. Thanks for playing. That's all. Thanks for watching my video. My name's TreyJones6, and if you could hit that subscribe button or that like button, that would mean the world to me. Thanks for watching my video, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.